Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mughal series. Now, we have expanded greatly. In the previous episode, which we conquered or annexed 3 different nations, such as the Timurids, Jaunpur, and Muat. Yeah, we have expanded greatly lately, but obviously the expansion doesn't stop here, as we are drilling our armies, as the manpower's near the max, so you could say that we are ready for war, but not quite, I would say. I think it's going to be another few years before we start another one, because things are going to be different on the diplomatic front. But now we expect the country to grow stronger than ever before, because our ally, Mawa, has grown so much that they are starting to be stronger than ever, even though they're currently in an intervention as they are part of a coalition against Ayutthaya, which is over there, far from here, which Mawa has, even though they have no ships, but they did march all over through Bengal, through there, and then there they are. So they are intervening to fight against them, who's 40,000 strong. And with that combined strength, then Mawa, they'll easily be put down. Even though it's a Buddhist kingdom. But still, they got a lot of manpower behind it. Occupied by Pasai. Where's Pasai? Ah. So they want to go over there. The Siamese kingdom has been expanding lately, but now someone's got to stop them. In fact, everybody's at war with them. Pasai, Kada, Pahang, Khmer, Majapahit, Delhi, not to be confused with Delhi here, Barus, Mawa, Ak, and Indrapura. So everybody's felt that they have gone too far in their expansion and it's time to put them in its place. Must have at least 50 aggressive expansion opinion penalty. Ah. So say if I were to fight Bengal, which that won't be an issue. And so I plan on expanding our military as our income is excellent. And a part of that is a lack of an advisor, which I could go get one, which, oh, they'll be very expensive to have, but I would just probably just wait till something is more suited. And of course, we have a new Padishah, Jahandar Shah, who is well advised, hence the reason why we have more advisor choices to choose from when you look at him here. Oh, wait a minute, 3? Well, as much as I would like to convert a bunch of countries, but of course, the more you expand, the more you are going to have issues of religious unity. And those issues cause national unrest and a bit of corruption, if any at all, which there isn't right now, as it's still a rather stable country. So don't worry about it. But if there's one province that I would like to convert the most, it would be Central Abu. But however, that chance of that happening is 0 because of seat of strong aristocrats, which I thought about. Well, you need this amount of administrative power if you are going to move your capital from here, even though the development is way less. But this is a home of a Taj Mahal, and you can't relocate it here because it's too big to move. Well, it's only the foundations. We haven't really built it up yet. But we want to convert this province. So I wouldn't do that if I were you. Also, that reminds me, just for seeing that trade node, we have near full control of this area. And as you can see, this is how much we collect from the trade due to maximizing the profit here. But, however, for here, yes, we have the strongest trade power in Lahore. Only because we annexed a few countries there. And soon we'll be expanding more into the lands of the Afghans. So that way I will have full control of this trade node personally. But you have to defeat Khorasan for it. Based on them and their allies, they are no pushovers. Well, we still have no contact with Great Ore, but it's visible. Actually, there they are. Found their capital. Yes, that's their capital fort. It's a tribe. Steppe nomads they are. Economic ideas. So combined with their strength, along with Mushasha, which is down there with them, I wouldn't underestimate them. And with this newfound wealth we have, I believe it's high time to build a new army. For starters. Once you have one regiment, then we'll start picking it up a bit more. That's what we're going to be using up that manpower reserves for. To create a third army that we have been promised with. And in addition, I thought long and hard about what this idea group should be. In which I've stated before that quantity and economic were originally meant when we were the Delhi Sultanate, but not that case anymore. So, as we have a habit of expanding and expanding big, I'm thinking about either administrative or diplomatic ideas. Any more military ideas like quality I would like to have will be much, much later down the line. Let me see for administrative. So core creation cost. Oh yeah, very good. Mercenary maintenance. Interest rate lowered. Mercenary manpower, advisor. Administrative tech costs, and if you complete it, more governing capacity. But meanwhile, a diplomatic, which I also used that for Croatia in that other series, which is adding more diplomats, diplomatic relations, improved relations, even more diplomatic reputation. And here's the big one, province war score. So that way I can grab even more land for myself. And of course, without that administrative over there, that means we would be spending more administrative power to core all of these things. And then when you complete all that, lowered impact on stability from diplomatic actions. Like, say, breaking a truce. And I often lament about the religious unity issues. Could go for humanist, for more religious unity, even more. Thus, less relying on conversions. And increased tolerance of heretics. Reduce separatism. Maximum promoted cultures is irrelevant because of our government reform. More improved relations. Tolerance of heathens, especially the Hindus around here. And then once you're done, reduced ideal cost, and Brahmins will be more loyal. Which is good and dandy. Good and dandy. So I'm really divided between the three. Not going to go for any of those military ideas. That'll be probably for the either for the 4th or 5th idea group. Hmm. Dang it. As we have a habit of using that administrative power a lot because we've been expanding a lot. Yeah, we will still be using our great numbers of quantity. Which of course that land force limit is expected to increase. Because not only we're going to be creating a third army, but also expand upon a few other armies that's already in existence. Like say we need more artillery because we don't use enough of those. Even though artillery is another Mughal specialty, historically. I mean, the core creation cost is 25 reduced, but if you get that, that lowers it even more. Thus, it'll be using up less administrative power. But humanist is always good, knowing each time we expand, we're going to be dealing with more separatism. And an increased tolerance of heathens, which would mean that, let's see, I mean, the development of strong, the seat of strong aristocrats is an issue of itself. Which again, need to get rid of that. But, however, the missionary strength I've also given the privileges for this, and if you go more towards mysticism, that increases the missionary strength a bit, which I need all of that. But it says versus heretics, not heathens like the Hindus here, because I'm all about for this now. So I could start investing on that wonder, just to see what I could do. But reduced idea cost is always great. As I'm just looking at the estates over there. And of course, once you're done administrative technology costs will also be reduced as you don't use up much of that. But if only you could combine administrative and diplomatic, so that way less core creation cost and taking more provinces, we could just get all these nations in a hurry. I'm just looking at all the other things. Having more merchants would be nice, but I think our income is good enough. But I think I'm in no rush into converting eventually when we get down there. So I think ultimately I'm going to go for administrative. And remember, once you finish that, you have more governing capacity, which is fine because we are an ever-expanding country. Now you gotta pick and choose these days. So, you know, combine two of these, and whenever we take loans, paying them is not an issue. So for now, when you get your administrative tech points, get these two as fast as possible. And of course, once you're done with that, you can add this policy when you have both. When you complete. Okay, this is for administrative. Administrative and quantity, that's faster manpower recovery speed and reduced land maintenance modifier, which is always good. This is for economic quality should both of them be complete. Which a little more development is always good, but you got it. don't have the diplomatic skill, and neither does the Shahzadeh. But you can't win all the time. And now the diplomatic front. The Bahmanis, they're good friends of ours, despite the differences in the faith between us. And I notice you are allied with Bengal. Interestingly, I can guarantee your independence if anybody dares to attack you, but now you're more useful to me as an ally. And you do border with Bengal, which, based on your geographical position, good. Now I got two things from you. One, break the alliance with the Bahmanis. It causes a lot of favors. There. The alliance is at an end. They didn't like that. Just forced to break the alliance, but you're still going to stick with us no matter what. And next month, break the alliance with Bengal. They're clearly going to be the next target. No. My intentions are clear now. Our next target will be Bengal, our longtime ally, now soon to be bitter enemy, because... But interestingly, this is the same dynasty. Of course, it does not form personal unions. Must have more prestige and claim to involve royal marriage. Ah, well, it matters little. Relative or not, you're going down. And you've converted the Bengali culture instead of our own Afghan culture. So, relations at an end. And due to the breaking of the said alliance, the truce will expire in 5 years. And in those 5 years, you're next. And remember, we'll be fighting for the Har, Kawa, North Bengal before we go down to the Ganges Delta. So says the missions here. And the Mithila area too. And this bit here. So I don't mind fighting a few small wars of any areas that I have legitimate claims to, such as Dang, Dot, all that. And we're already using manpower to use a third army, so it doesn't hurt to expand the military. Come on, man. Go find some new friends to play with. Rejected. Okay, here's your regiment. So, we often make it 20,000 strong. I'm trying to do the math in my head. Slightly more cavalry. Some artillery as well. So that brings it the total of 60. Didn't have to do the counting in my head. So it's gonna take quite a bit of time. And I'm sure that army maintenance is gonna skyrocket. But when we expand further east towards the trade node of Bengal, it's a very, very rich region. remember, after that part, then the only thing we could do is go for the Ganges Delta. That would be the next target. East and West Bengal. But do not forget the old Afghan frontier, which one day would have to fight against them. Gujarat separatist? Yes, sir. And in the meantime, until the truce with Bengal expires, I'm not going to spend my military power until we get 2 new units of this. So that way our enemies will be outclassed. State agenda complete. See you in 4 years. And if you see any decisions that relate to piety, start going more towards mysticism. Because I need to increase that missionary strength. Who's that? Sindh? No. Because you're going to be a target soon. But of course that means we have to fight Baluchistan as well, just to get them out of our way. And... interesting, but we'll be fighting Khorasan as well. But you're all out of me. A new madrasa. There you go. They're only cast spells against me. If they dare attack against me, they will pay dearly. Oh wait, that's Malwa. Oh, excuse me. You must be returning from... It's a punitive war, you know? Coalition. Really? You're a one-province miner. I could easily end you right now, but... no. Not willing to accept anybody... out of anyone. Even though there is room to make more alliances with anyone. I mean, it could be anyone at this point. But I think we're slowly but surely becoming a bit self-reliant, as we are a strong military power to the north. And with that ever-expanding army, that's why we must go east, to get more of the, little more trade power to the Bengal trade. And until when Bengal is gone, we should have enough trade value, and trade, you know, income, to finance this ever-growing military of ours. 3 more cannons to be recruited, and then we will see the final tally of the income. These areas what increases religious unity. As if you should be focused on the ones there, but development's too high, so actually you're kind of almost there. Let me have a look. That's what I gave them recently, hence the reason the religious unity that increased. Local religious unity contribution of, but that would defeat the purpose of what we're trying to do. But also sooner or later I got to, you know, integrate these two vassals. Not saying they're starting to become useless to me, it's just figured it's about that time. Unless you want to release subjects to create new vassals. I mean, the likely candidate would be Mughal. These mighty Rajputs, I could see them being a subject of Mughals before we advance further on down. Just an example. It's not like I'm really going to do that. Our income is still very good. And with reduced inflation, done well. But if you want actual results, well, actually we're going to have points. Actually, as you were. The court of Jahandar Shah. Ever since the start of Jahandar Shah's reign, it's been clear that his heart lies with the Afghan. In time, the palace halls of Delhi come to echo in merry conversations entirely held in the Afghan language, even as the Hindavi nobles have taken to using the language of the Padishah. Perhaps it is time to codify the special status of the Afghan culture. That's how we became Mughals, but we could never dishonor the legacy of our ancestors, so... Oh, leave that alone. Which again? Dynasty is Afghan. Primary culture is Hindavi. Protests and Bengal fortification at first. A permanent matter of regal attention. Fortification of the realm is an expensive but vital business, claiming to be situated in a position of great strategic importance. Our local authorities of Delhi are demanding funding for the renovation of the province's forts. Until the end of the game, it is of the utmost importance, so spent some ducats on that. As men of great spiritual strength but also firmly part of the establishment, members of the ulema sometimes choose to join social protests. A recent altercation between the local garrison and the urban population of Bangalore has attracted the attention of a prominent mufti in the state of Bangladesh, the province we're trying to convert. Our local commander fears the situation might escalate unless we listen to protesters, but doing so will come at a cost. Oh, you're very loyal now, but Mufti or not, there's nothing we could do, so... Yes, that's gonna add some local unrest. Hindu zealots. But it's a move towards mysticism. I mean, we have to change. So that makes it back down to 0. But if we could go further this way, adds missionary strength. Even though it would take a long time to get there. Even if you get max mysticism, it won't matter. Unless you make certain decisions. Such as more conversions, religious unity, and all that. Well, since our income is still very good. Well, here's the man. You're paying 12 a month. Oof. Now, if you stick to the mysticism path, you can definitely convert this area, even though it's going to take a long time to get it done. So here's your chance. You failed to mention that Bengal Khan, that area. Where is it exactly? Dang nabbit. There it is. Oh dear. What are you doing? And yes, you got a brilliant general and all, but you started this war. You started a war against Andhra, which is, I mean, you got a good sized army, but Vijayanagar is larger. While we have a great military in our own right, with a great amount of manpower, I guess we're intervening. But beware, they've got a lot of forts, about as much as ours, but you got a brilliant general. So, 34,000 versus 8,000 of Andhra versus, well, actually, you can look that up here, including my vassals. So we do outnumber them quite a bit, but well, don't worry about the artillery. Stay there. And you got Afghan separatists to deal with too, so come on down. We're gonna get a move on now. It's nearly fully drilled anyhow, so they're more than ready. And this newly raised army, head to there too. Offer them our support. So we are definitely intervening. You're going to be outnumbered here. The Allies won, but you made it back to port. You didn't bring an admiral. So you're going to be dealing with separatists. I mean, I could use that, but originally supposed to save that for new tech, but but once we have it, we could definitely outclass the enemy. Of course, with time. Plus, what's the objective? Konosima. That's over here. They're heading to there now. No, they're not. They're heading to this fort. So, if you want to get to this, you gotta get this down first. Stick together. Don't get too separated. Unless the situation calls for it. Like them over there. Think of it. River crossings between Vijayanagar and Savano. There's no river crossing here. See if we can get there. Nope, we were scaring them off. taking their capital would be a big war score difference. If we can get these guys out of the war, then the way is clear for Andhra. But I know what they're going for. Start sieging the capital. If anyone attacks, we'll back them up. They're deserting already. Once the capital falls, move out, because we gotta chase them down. If they try to come up here, we'll have them dealt with. We'll use our numbers. But I think, quite honestly, I think we do need a general. Sure, it might delay it. So we only gain 11 a month, so... Ah, you'll be fine. Get one. We do need a general. The one for the defense of the homeland. Let's see what his name should be. Mustafa Bhutto. That's a name that I can pronounce easily. 4 fire, but no shock, no maneuver, but a bit of a siege. So you're 1 star. But hey, you got a lot of infantry, so you know how to use that fire mode very well. They haven't rebelled yet, so if they get closer, push them back. No, you're irrelevant to me. You might be my only ally, along with Mawa, which, once Bengal is done, Mawa is next. But of course, we still gotta deal with these little states first. It's a brilliant general. Send for backup in case he needs help, because they're on their way. Or not. Maybe. I don't know. Stick together. I think they're coming up here. Which army isn't as drilled, but I don't think you have the means to take it on. Come on, fall. Take the long way round. Step back. Stubborn. What ideas do they have? They have offensive ideas. Says nothing about their defense. Well, they're in our doorstep now. 78%! Get over here. This way. Oh, you sneaky bastards. After them first, then the main Vijayanagar forces. They're not even attacking the Bahmani. Once this falls, retreat back home. Withdraw, I should say. Make sure they do not escape from here. They're exposed. We're leaving ourselves exposed out here. As long as they stay where they are, we're in a good position to get them as such. No, no, no. Well, actually, they're going to run into these noble rebels there. Heading to Bangladesh, and so will we. Our talent alone cannot defeat them. We gotta use the big numbers. Even though this is a flat ground, not a real defensible position here. That's why I've been hesitant about taking on Vijayanagar, knowing that they have large numbers, but they've already used up all their manpower, but they have yet to be engaged in a major pitched battle other than this one. But the war enthusiasm is already medium. But if we could defeat their grand army, then they will definitely turn tail and run. Maybe this war will serve as a demonstration of how we can use our large armies alone. Just to see if we have the confidence to take on countries like Bengal all by ourselves. Got them engaged. Let's hold off on the conversions. Once the battle is done, meet up and then see if we can catch them. Andhra is gone. All we need to do is knock Vijayanagar out of the war. I'll be surprised if the Bahmanis allow it to, say, pillage the capital and it'll go to us. Let's meet up here. There's enough supplies limit for all of us. Supply storage. Garrison's not fallen yet. Let's march all together, even though it's not recommended to do that because of attrition reasons. No, you'll be fine. You're going through Lucknow to Jaunpur, you won't take any real crossing penalty, but they might soon run if they see us approaching like that. Of course, the monarch's gonna lead. If anything bad happens to me, Jahanara take over, which skills is pretty good, I might add, but secretive. And plus we may have an uprising in our hands, which will take care of that too. This other fort has not fallen yet. This one soon will. But if they can get this down, then the door's open for their main objective. If we can drive them out, then we will return to well, we'll leave one army out. The one led by Mustafa Bhutto. And then I and the other army, with no general other than that's the one to help us out, go further south to knock down the rest of those forts and knock them out of the war. And then all is yours. But remember, it's them that calls the shots around here. So let's see if they will run or not. Because the walls breach. Halt! Ladakh is going in. When does your battle start? Will arrive tomorrow. Well, damn, we just led our vassal troops to, engage a bit of it. But we're waiting for friendly reinforcements. Now go. We'll be fine, because this one's got no army leader. We'll be there on June. Okay, never mind then. It's just Ladakh doesn't know what the hell is what. So us generals will be heading up there, even though we have no leadership traits. And since I'm likely going to be the leader of this battle, with our well-trained army, and we don't know how drilled they are to agree, but they're bold fighters. So the 1/4 army is likely going to be the leader of this outfit. So it's 2 fire, 5 shock, 2 maneuver. And for Jahandar, the leader, 4 fire, 3 shock, 3 maneuver, 2 siege. But it's the fire, shock, and maneuver. Fire, shock is most relevant, obviously. And one is nearly fully drilled, the other not as drilled, and the other not at all, but freshly recruited. There's going to be a lot of deaths. That's for certain. What is this? All the more reasons why I must fight against you one day. But now, let the Battle of Jaunpur begin. If long as they don't run. Vijayanagar will be the attacker of this. Here's another check. So, unfortunately, the autonomy change will be going up for Sialkot, but this helps with the yearly tax income, reduced unrest. Plus, sought out tomb of Sufi Sheikh, but moves us a bit more to the move towards more of the mysticism. And it'll exist till the end of this playthrough. So before we enter there, Sialkot. Don't worry about it. Time will still go down bit by bit. So remember, we have the numerical advantage. We have the most cannons than Vijayanagar does. We have a large number of cavalry. Almost nearly as much as the number of infantry we have. Because don't you know that cavalry combat ability is a Mughal specialty? They're in for a world of hurt. And we will receive friendly reinforcements bit by bit. The ground looks like. Here we go. And more reinforcements will be on the way in 2 more days. Ladakh, 1st Army will be here. 3rd Army will be there on the 10th. And soon Bangladesh will follow, hopefully. Join this glorious battle. Even though we're a bit outnumbered here. But remember, we have Rajput regiments. That's another thing added to our advantage. And finally, and I do mean finally, since we move towards a bit of mysticism, morale of armies are up slightly. Let's go. So morale is dwindling as reinforcements arrive. Will they really make a stand here, or will some of them retreat? Dice will seem even, but got them on the ropes, and it seems we're barely taking any casualties by the looks of it. But not without great effort from them. And do not forget, we have the discipline. They don't, as far as I'm concerned. Glorious battle. The shocks were good. So they lost this amount of infantry, that amount of cavalry, and some of their artillery. We didn't lose any artillery. But of course, it's not without great losses on our end too. But prestige from us and army tradition has gone way up for this great victory. All it takes is good coordination, the numbers, and commanding talent. And the firepower that you bring to the table, especially from these Rajput regiments, which they last longer in the fight and all that. So, Jahandar Shah is a hardy warrior, which will take less land attrition. So, we need to reinforce this much. But we'll be alright. Now, this and Third Army with us. We're going to take the war to them now. Well, try to split up a bit so you don't get mixed up. So otherwise we'd be having attrition issues. You stay there because you need to deal with these potential rebellions that's going to happen soon. I want you to deal with them and then go up to Afghanistan and meet them up too. And boy, that's going to hurt on a monthly. Goes in that balance sheet. So finally, like, just as we were waiting for. So we're a bit ahead of time. So we'll have these new units, but we're not going to switch them right now because this is an ongoing conflict. And maneuver is increased to 25. I guess I better start using ideas, starting with this and that. You want to quit? At least you'll be backed up with the small armies while we will reinforce bit by bit. While they have no manpower because we've destroyed some of their regiments. I know where they're going, but it's awful risky. The whole kick 'em while they're down sort of thinking. Diplomacy between nations have often been affected by random factors on both sides involved in ways that are beyond the ability of the diplomatic corps of either state. With the ever-changing attitudes of our relations with our neighbors shifting even more swiftly than usual, our diplomats are finding it difficult to keep up. Employing new. Every little bit helps. Just to get us closer to that sooner or later. I know you're over there. Don't you dare. I know what they're up to. God, blast it. Go the long way round. You can catch up. They got this in the bag. Ah, there you are. The morale's not fully recovered, but a well-drilled army who takes less land attrition. We're willing to risk it. I doubt you can catch up, because the long way around isn't the best for it now. Whereas I'm holding off because, well, for these reasons. It's drylands here. No river crossing, but I don't know if it's wise. But we're going in after him. You got a good dice roll against me. Oh. Bad decision. Bold fighter versus hardy warrior, you know. Get out of here. We got greedy there. That's gonna cost a bit of manpower on our end. It's not enough to get their war morale up, but let's unite first and then take them on. I was a bit of a glory seeker myself. With this newfound diplomatic power you just got, maybe we could use that. Also Banu, that's over there. Yeah, that'll do no good to nobody. Settle the issue. Diplomatic gains aren't that great. Sure. Since we're still gonna be friends for now. Good, move out. Surround them. Make sure nobody goes anywhere. Because of the son of a... Get in there. Don't let them escape. Good boy. We'll be coming in soon. We'll take them out of all our numbers. Hang on. Stop, damn it. Bukhara in exile. Nadir Muhammad Suran Unagan, a political exile from Bukhara, has appeared in the court. He claims to be a quartermaster and offering his services to the Mughal crown in return for protection from the Bukharan Sultan. Should we take him in? Well, we consider them as rivals, is Bukhara. So, why the hell not? They don't like us anyhow, so his services will be useful. Skill 3. Faster reinforcement speed. That's something we need. You got it. But of course, that's gonna cost you. At a reduced price, of course. Go. After this big battle, we'll be to reinforce faster, and hopefully we'll have enough manpower to last a war with Bengal. That'll be coming up in the future, as they have no allies now. They withdrew. They know they don't have the manpower. You are really mauling them. But soon it falls, and then you will have the objective in sight. Now. Move out. I fear that they might be going that way, so maybe you should consider. Paryashana? Paryashana marks the holiest period of the Jain religious calendar. It is a time of fasting, austerity, and absolution. Members of the Jain community use this time for prayer, meditation, asking forgiveness from their fellows. Jain ministers are employed in the Mughal administration and petition the state to ask that the slaughter of animals be prohibited during the duration of this. While a costly proposal for butchers, it has been suggested that the state could make up for the loss of profit. Lose that many ducats. They'll still be loyal to Jains, but that isn't going to be good to anybody there for the suppression of Jain festivals. We'd just say, sorry, we can't do that right now. Even though I could take loans, but that'll take about 2 loans. Yeah, roughly 2. And, do we have that ability to? No, not yet. For lower interest rate. And how convenient. Lowered interest rates so it don't as much. And of course, each time you take up these loans, inflation would be increased by 10, but National Bank and growing financial sector. Find it. What year is this? Oh, yeah, we're far away from that. And also I haven't read that part. But I don't want any more unrest because we already have enough issues already. And the Ulema will still be loyal. But the Jains would be very loyal. So I guess I'll say, okay, fine. You got it. And it helps with the state maintenance too. Okay, we actually have to take one more. And then soon, by start of next month, we'll have a lower interest rate. Was originally going to start for that, but because of timing. And it's a good thing we don't have to take up a second loan. But anyways, he is thankful for being granted assignment in the Mughal court. However, he has recently drawn attention to the fact that there are many other Bukharan notables in this position. Men of great wisdom and influence, he insists. Could be useful to allow them to join our court, should we wish to step our opposition to Bukharan ambitions. I know they don't like us, but boy, are they going to be furious about this. We know what the Great Horde looks like, but Mongolia seems a little intimidating in terms of manpower, but they're way over there. Yeah, we'll take them in. It'll help get a little bit of power of everything. They don't like us more, and exiles of Mughal Empire happens, and then they have every right to attack me, and we will defend the country. Bring them on. How convenient. That's all I gotta say. It's not gonna be until 1540. And we're still gonna be spending money because the war will continue. So, thanks to that. Now, if we can only get bookkeeping and lower interest rates even more in the future, that we could see. So, let's continue with the conflict. It's just, I guess the timing was right, even though I had to make a big investment on curbing these practices. We're coming in to defeat him one more time. Just hold him off. Hang on. We're coming. Taking minimum losses. Just occupy these areas. I gotta go all the way to the south. This fort's finally fallen. They'll soon go after the main objective. Just go after it, and you get the win. Looting foreign cities is one thing, but also the loyal Jains, what is that for? Oh, construction reduction. And time. Which one of you's got the guns? Oh, both of you. Hey, I have the siege skill, you guys don't. How about we help you out with that? What's left of Gujarat? Sounds like you got a bone to pick with them. Yeah, just looking around. Also, for your consideration, I'll probably also say no just out of convenience, because Mawa may finish you off, and I would have to help out Mawa one more time before we'll start considering them as an enemy to our ambition. Even though our ambitions cost them many a life. But it was a sacrifice that had to be made. Oh, that's where you're going after. Move out. Head to Udayagiri. Another fort down means likeliness that they'll lose entirely. Let him do the fighting. We shed enough blood between us. We brought out the cannons. And me being a siege leader, not necessarily, but a little bit of help. Really? No thank you. Just take the objective and you'll win the war. How much have you lost? Too much. Fully reinforced. Well, not fully reinforced. In fact, that's probably the next war I would do, since you're a single province minor. And declare war to show superiority, and that Kazakh friend of yours. 16,000 of you? Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that, but all I could say is it's not even worth pillaging. Huh. They could take one of their forts back, but we'll help take the main objective so we can have a quicker resolution to this conflict. They surrendered. Soon negotiations will begin. Once they take this last area, then it'll be all over. So we can all go home. Here comes some more cannons to help you out with this siege. Alright, you took it all, so... end this war, please. Really? You're asking me for a war of marriage even though you insulted me? I'm not trying to be politically isolated all the way. No, no, no. Just only when it's convenient. As in, I still view them as something useful. Once this fort falls, that jumps up the war score a bit more. There we go. Every little bit helps. And hopefully they give us that war condition, peace condition, to pillage this capital, because this has got good development here. Oh, how did it go with that? They didn't take this. They had large numbers, so I have to assume that they've been humbled. You go this way, we'll go down that way. And that separatism thing, that's your problem. What's the supply limit? Go over there. I wonder why that's killing off that manpower. Break out at any time now. Move up. Damn it. Gotcha. There's one more fort that remains, but begin to withdraw. Peace negotiations should be ongoing, so to figure out how much land that they're gonna distribute, give away, whatever. Just scare them far, far away. What the hell? That's their new general, a 3-star? Oh dear. Clearly. Complete victory. And boy, we lost a lot of manpower for that. So, let's see. Andhra was seat, Konasima the Bahmanis, Vijayanagar was seat, Srikakulam, Devarakona, and Kamamet the Bahmanis. Vijayanagar will give the cores of Daman to Gujarat, so they got that back. Andhra will know all treaties of Vijayanagar. A little piece of them still exists. Pay 15 ducats and I get 9. It'll cost them 20. Big aggressive expansion for you, and we get plenty of prestige and some power projection, so no pillage. And we got 18 favors out of you. Good. I wish I could ask it from soldiers, but you don't have any. Thank goodness this madness is over. Now we are in no position to start a war against Bengal. Not with that kind of attitude. But now, expanded supply trains to reduce land attrition, as attrition has become a bit of an issue from that conflict. So, there you have it. In addition, for completing the quantity, land force limit modifier increased. Meaning if you wish... Oh my goodness. I know we can't afford that for costs, but this is a big difference. Quantity is great for a country like this, but perhaps too great. But not right now. Not in that condition that we're in. At least Bukhara ain't going to be attacking us anytime soon, as they're helping out their ally, Muscovy. Helping out ally, or defending. I think it's... yeah, you're... I see what's going on. You misspoke, as you do usually. Now we should focus on dealing with the local uprisings. Not even there yet. Just be patient. Just focus on more towards mysticism. All we need is a good fighter towards that way. You're very good. Oh, what is... I mean, religious unity has nothing to do with this, but... It's just, it depends on missionary strength, and that's what matters. As stated before, no position to yeah. Oh yes, the new unit types, I forgot. So, comparison to our current Indian cavalry archers, that's what we're using, right? Yes. Now the Mansabdar cavalry. The Mansabdar. This one adds fire. And it's the only new type, so here it is. As the Mughal Empire grew, the need for a central organization to keep track of its many power holders became a necessity. Under Akbar, a numerical ranking for system all nobles, Mansabdars, was implemented. On Jagirs, allowances, and the number of cavalry troopers a noble was obliged to field. It would become depending on this rank. Yes. Big difference maker. Now, pick your choice. Shock isn't a real issue against us, but this is artillery, so... I would just go for this. The Pedro. Relatively light cannons compared to the culverins, using stone balls as ammunition due to their lightweight in contrast to iron balls. So we refitted the military here a bit. Just in case they break out. For a long way. Yeah, the advisor's maintenance is a bit much. Now, see, I would have gone to war, but it was a bit costly. And you made a new ally. From all the heck way over there. With their many ships, but you don't scare me. But to be fair, that's due to the national tax modifier being drastically reduced because of going more towards mysticism. I've become concerned about converting, especially here. But don't do that. What are you thinking? Most of that gain's gonna go to military power anyhow, so we've already finished the job with this, what that means. Later in this decade, we're going for this. Since we have nothing to spend militarily. I guess we have no choice but to mothball all these forts. It's cost cutting. And I can't pay off that loan until we start making more money. And you do not have that amount of money. Maintain our alliance between us. Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't have the money. Hey, Mawa, you have money? No, you don't. Well, whenever you let us know that you have that large amount of money, I would like to have it. Because it's starting to become a bit of an issue. But of course, if you want a cost cut, then you better, sack this one, but I need a missionary strength. For a good reason. Or just rid of him. I mean, he's a young man in his prime. Although when it says reinforcement, they don't mean that manpower, they mean it for the armies. So I'll fire him, just again, cost-cutting measure. I'll hire you back later, when it's convenient. We don't need military power gains right now, since we have nothing to spend for the ideas with. And it's not going to be until the end of the decade, about 1540, that I'll switch it back to administration. And we got uprisings to deal with soon. And doesn't war exhaustion also affect goods produced modifier? That's a bit of that. Another source of income regarding production. So let's wait at least, let me see, at this rate. I don't know. Oh, we thought this was going to be a walk in the park, that war down there, but it costs us a little more manpower. But it does demonstrate the importance of having a third army when it comes to fighting huge battles. And we need that kind of manpower to defeat Bengal and their new ally. So I guess they ended a royal marriage with the Bahmanis too. And I can't repay it now. So all we gotta do is be patient. Every little bit helps. Don't mind. At least we still have you. Now all we need is money if you got any. Actually, you do. Just hang on. Don't spend anything right now, please. Because I need the money. Sucker. I could repay that right now. But just wait a while. Didn't want to mothball the forts because that would have caused that decay, but sending you two. What's bigger? Stand by. Head up to Hubble. Because of these rebel factions there. Hey. Oh, no, you don't have the money. Can only ask an ally. Okay, I see. I guess I might need you for the future Bengal conflict. I mean, Mao will join. Bahmanis won't because they were friendly with them. Just bringing Mawa alone would be a difference maker, but it's a lot of work. But do not forget that you're going to also fight small wars to take these areas. Also, didn't you insult us one time? Yeah, defeating you right now, then we get what we want. Just for bragging rights. I could do that, but Kazakh is further away from here. What is going on up there? $53 in development compared to Delhi's 44. January. It's been a while. Just realized it. House of Worship, House of Worship. Rajputs want a military campaign against Baluchistan for what? Subjugation. If I fight against them, you know, Mao's gonna have a fit if I were to do that. Because they would definitely join on our side, thus betraying me. Plus, who would you want the more loyal to? Ulema or Brahmins? Actually, it makes very little difference. It's already a Sunni country, so... And Lucknow, what's the development there? Not as good. In fact, rose slightly better than Lucknow's base tax. So, okay, it'll be road then. How much? 82. Alright, you got it. Don't spend it all at once. Here we go. Crush them. Now we're gonna start drilling. It's been a while. Minimum casualties. What's your position? Start drilling. But do not start drilling until that revolt comes up. Move a little, because there's room. Excuse me. Not terribly worried. Because, you know, fighting small wars is going to have to do. Even though that's going to move more towards legalism, but I want mysticism for increased missionary strength to finally convert this area. So it seems like you're probably going to have to... I've been cogitating on this, but I think you probably want to start a war to bait them up just for insulting us. Get bonus war score from winning battles. Ticket war score. Ah, I see. This is what this is about. But if you declare war on them, that's bit of that increase. Khorasan is in the middle of 2 wars. And yet we still want parts of Afghanistan and Malevolent. That's tempting. Very tempting indeed. And finishing off Sind, and Mara will be there, which is over there and contributes very little. We got plenty of opportunities here where we could start these so-called small wars to have minimum losses of manpower. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that happening. Whereas the Mara part, that will take slightly longer. And there's only 2 provinces. Just 2 of these, and then that's it for them. And then we'll have to get the rest of Sind later, when Mara becomes an enemy. All that, yeah, that's an idea. But you know what, let's stop this episode right now, so that way we want the next episode to be about more of the Mughals' small wars before the big one. Which I'm looking at you, Bengal. Or Khorasan, either of the 2. I'm willing to fight against fellow Sunnis in order to increase mysticism. But of course that means we would be paying costs again. But we're only doing it in the name of religious unity. But as long as we just fight these quick wars, then maybe, just maybe, we can get to work on converting this area, even though it'll be expensive. But the real question is, will it be worth it? Guess we'll have to find out in the next episode of Mughals. But until then, so long for now.